Hi everyone. Indrani loves talking. No, not Indrani. Sorry, Indrani, I'm blaming you again. Giangi loves talking just before we go live. Hi everyone. I'm Aslin Bloch. And welcome to one more episode of Savour the Flavour with Foodies Plus. I've got, once again, with me, Giangi, all the way in Phoenix, Arizona. And somewhere close to her is Joy in the Santa Cruz Mountains. And finally, in India, we've got, where exactly in India, Indrani?
Mumbai.
In Mumbai, we've got Indrani. So today, they're going to be sharing with us each a recipe that they make regularly at home that can be frozen, whether pre-cook or post-cook. So we're going to be joining them very, very shortly to see what exactly they'll be cooking for us. And we're going to start, first of all, with Joy. Hi, Joy. How are you doing?
Hi, I am very excited to be here today. Thanks for having me on Savour the Flavour.
Good to have you once again, because you weren't with us the last time we were live.
That's correct. We were evacuated from our home. Oh, sure. Sorry. That's correct. We were evacuated from our homes due to the wildfires, and we are extremely lucky this kitchen is still standing. I'm so happy to be back here. It's such a relief.
I bet you are. But you haven't been idle, despite the fact that you've had to put up with your in-laws while the fires were around.
More like they had to put up with us.
You have been busy with your magazine. Tell us a little bit about this magazine of yours, Joy.
Oh, yes, thank you. Our magazine is called Food in the Time of Quarantine. It's a free recipe magazine. It focuses on budget meals that you can put together. Last issue was actually dedicated to my fellow evacuees because the meals were meals you could cook in anyone's kitchen. No special equipment required, mostly pantry ingredients, but still fun and exciting. The magazine aims to help as many people with their meal planning as we can.
Great, and basically the magazine is full of recipes from Foodies Plus members.
Yeah, and that's the best part.
And we can get, and it's free. Anybody can download it. If you go to our Foodies Plus community group page on Facebook or my YouTube channel, which is search for me Aslin Bloch on YouTube. You'll find the link under this show when this show is done, and you can download it and previous issues for free. It's full of recipes. So, Joy, tell us, what will you be cooking today?
Today, I'm making one of my favorite meals on the go, and in my opinion, one of my most freezable recipes, best breakfast burritos. These are going to have potatoes, eggs, salsa, beans, and cheese, and your family's going to love them.
Excellent. And do you freeze them once they're all done and wrapped up? That's when you freeze them, do you?
Correct. Yeah, you pre-assemble them and you freeze them individually. In fact, I've got some cool tin foil that's like deli tin foil, so that'll make it easier to freeze it.
All right, great. We'll come back to you when it's your turn when it's time to start cooking. We'll go over and say hi to Indrani. Hi, Indrani, all the way in Mumbai.
Hi, everyone. Yes. So today I'm going to show snacks, popular snacks, which is samosas. And it's very versatile. It can be made ahead and you can freeze it. And the fillings is you can give any fillings. Traditionally, we put potato fillings and you can do for any kind of vegetables also. In Bengal, from where I belong to, there we have a filling made up of potato and cauliflower. And now today I am going to show you with the different types of fillings. I have made minced chicken also, and I have also. I have corn also, corn and cheese also you can fill. And you have to make the dough, like you have to make the dough and cut the from there and fill it the filling.
Great, right. So samosas from Indrani. Who doesn't love samosas? I know I love samosas. Let's go and say hi to Giangi in Arizona to see what she is going to be cooking. Hey there.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our beautiful Sunday here. What I'm going to be making today is our ricotta meatballs. One of our favorite recipe, one of the most shared recipe, and really one of the easiest thing to prepare. I have a recipe I'll put it up there. I will show you how to put it together, how to make different sizes for 3 different recipes, but also how to save them raw, freeze them raw in the refrigerator, as well as when you're making it with a tomato sauce, how to freeze the whole tomato sauce with the meatballs in the freezer for a very quick, tonight I forgot dinner. And there you have it. So it's very simple Italian, and actually is a little bit half Italian, half my creations that we're having today. So
Great. Sounds good. All right. There you go, folks. We've got, or we will be having, breakfast burritos from Joy, samosas from Indrani, and meatballs, 3 different sizes from Giangi. And they're all going to show you how to correctly freeze these things when they've been made. So we're going to head on over to Joy and let's get started on the first recipe.
All right, you guys are just in time. It's like that magic moment in a GIF when you slice something and then it separates into all those beautifully cut up pieces. So we've got our potatoes here on the tray. We're just going to spray them with a little spray oil and season them with some salt and pepper. And then we're going to pop them in the oven at 400. It's been preheated, 400 degrees for 15 minutes. We're not trying to cook them. We're trying to sear the outside because we're actually going to finish cooking them with the salsa, and it will absorb the juice of the salsa and be really, really, really tasty.
Okay, so essentially you're just crisping the outside. You're browning them, but in the oven. Okay, so your burritos are going to be filled with, just to recap, potatoes,
Correct.
or zucchinis, and some vegetables. So now you're going to be placing these potatoes in the oven, 200 degrees Fahrenheit, no, 200 degrees Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit. Okay, there we are.
There we are. And the next step is to grate my zucchini. You can always do this step beforehand. And then I'm going to saute that together with some diced onions and the eggs eventually.
Okay, cool. All right, so while Joy's chopping and grating, we're going to head on over to India to join Indrani.
Okay, so I have taken, you can see these are my ingredients. You can take corn as filling, or I have boiled some potatoes. That also you can take as a filling. And this is tuna you can use. Okay, so next the filling.
So for the filling today, you've got potatoes, you've got corn and tuna. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one we missed. Okay.
This filling is made up of potato. If you like fish or seafood, you can make tuna. Tuna you can combine with mushrooms, and this is minced chicken. This also I've cooked. If you want to put this as a filling, this also can do.
Okay. All right. So samosas are essentially Indian pastries, usually triangular shape, filled with various types of fillings, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And let me show you the traditional filling. I have added what? Added oil in the pan. And this is, I put some Nigella seeds. This is Nigella seeds.
What was that?
Nigella,
Nigella
onion.
seeds. Okay. Okay, Nigella seeds, yeah.
I put the potato.
Okay, for those of you who've just joined us, Indrani is cooking us some samosas today. She's going to just talk us through very quickly later how she does the pastry itself, because otherwise we'd be here all day. So right now she's making the traditional filling, which is of potatoes. So she's just sauteing the potatoes with a little bit of nigella seeds and turmeric by the looks of it.
And chili powder, that's it.
And chili powder, okay.
And this is, green chilies, finely chopped green chilies.
Yeah, because what's life without some chilies? Plenty of chili. Okay, so we're going to leave you to finish making that potato filling, and we're going to head on over to why am I getting the names mixed up today? Over to Giangi. Hello, madam.
Hello, madam. Giangi. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with my name. Okay, so what I did, I'm going to prepare the ricotta meatball with a tomato sauce. And what I've done to save myself some time so you don't have to sit here and wait for my tomato sauce to cook, I put together 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 garlic cloves, which I let nicely golden. And once they were golden, I removed, because you don't want to cook with the garlic, but you want the essence of the oil of the garlic. Very Italian in that way. I also used some San Marzano tomatoes. They were whole. I crushed them, salt and pepper, and I let them simmer gently right here. So it's preparing for us. So what I have in hand here today, my recipe, I vary this recipe quite often. I do it once all with pork, once with all beef, and once I put together pork and beef. So today we're having a half a pound of beef, a half a pound of pork, and then we're going to have 3/4 of ricotta, a half a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano in here, a half a cup of breadcrumbs, 1 egg, salt and pepper, 2 tablespoons of parsley, and of course, Worcestershire sauce. I'll mix all this together to make our little meatballs. So that's very simple. This is something that you can give your kids to do. Give them some gloves, some sanitary gloves like I have right here. And you have your children help you with this. Actually, it's a great teaching tool for them. Just kind of measure everything and just kind of play with it. And so you can have them on your kitchen, teaching them something new. But that's all I do. This is my little recipe, and that's it.
Excellent. So there you go. So Giangi's shared with us very, very quick and easy meatballs, and you can vary it. The meat can be varied, the ingredients can be varied to some extent. What about your tomato sauce? Could you just talk us very quickly through
Yes.
your tomato? You did already, did you? Did you?
Yes, I already did my tomato sauce, but that's okay. I can go over it. What I did, I put some 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 garlic cloves, which I kept whole. I just tip off the little hardcore hand, and I let them rissoler, which is get nice and golden. Once it was golden, you remove it. That's how they do in Italy. That's what I was raised with. You don't let the garlic cook with it. You just let them give the essence of the oil of the garlic to your oil. And then I put some tomato sauce, tomato can, which were the whole tomato San Marzano, which is an Italian brand, which is the long one. I crushed them a little bit, salt and pepper, and I put it on. Boiled them a little bit and then brought it down to a low temperature. So they're nicely cooking right here, and they're waiting for my little meatballs to be put in.
Perfect. So tomato sauce on the stove, practically done. Now you're just going to mix all the meatball ingredients, and right. And I apologize, I forgot that she's done the sauce. Blame it on Sally. Let me just show you what there you go. Sally, it's all your fault. I missed Giangi's first tomato sauce talk through. So let's head on over to Indrani. And actually, let's head on over to Joy and see what she's doing. Hey, Joy.
Hello, everyone.
Are we ready to
Hi, we have got the vegetables in. We're sauteing those. I forgot to add, we're going to wilt a little bit of fresh spinach at the end because it's really nice to have that bright bite in there. We're sauteing the vegetables, and then we're going to add those eggs. So I'm going to end up doing that one-handed egg crack.
Oh, can we do
that? Yeah, I don't know if the camera is going to catch this, but here's the one-handed egg crack.
Okay.
And I'll let you know.
You're basically doing your filling right now, which is essentially you've got your vegetables on the stove and you're just going to get the eggs ready, yeah? Okay,
correct,
cool.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you when it's... Oh, okay, let's go. Let's watch that then.
I wonder if you can tell which hand I'm dominant with.
Woohoo! Right.
Surprisingly left.
I didn't
So
know
I
you
guess
were
I'm getting better at
left-handed,
the
right?
right.
All these years, I didn't know that. Right. We'll leave you to finish off doing the filling. How many eggs are you using for that?
So we're going to use 15. It's about 2/3 of an egg per burrito.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're going to head on over to Indrani and see how she's doing with her samosa filling.
So this is my potato filling, which is already ready, and I'm doing that corn and mushroom and cheese filling. So I'm onions, garlic, and bacon, and corn and mushroom. And you can add the cheese. It's also ready. So now I'll show you how to start the.
Okay, so you've got 3 types of filling. You've got the potato filling that you made earlier, and you've got your corn, and you had some minced chicken, sort of curry minced chicken too.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Corn, and you can add cheese over here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cheese is always good. Okay.
So this dough here. This is a dough, and it's a dough like you can add 2.5 cups of refined flour and little bit less than 1/4 cup of oil. 1/4 cup of oil, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. And then you knead this dough. It has to be a little firm. The dough has to be firm dough. You know, it's not very soft. And then we make small rounds out of it. You can see my like this. You can see. Okay. Can you see this platform?
Just move it towards the cooker a little bit. No, move your roll it. That's it. Perfect. Yeah. Right. So Indrani's made her filling. She's just going to show us how to fill the samosa right now.
Yes.
Which is probably for new cooks, which is probably the tricky part of it.
So here the tricky part is like you don't make the filling. It's not like a like momo or wrap, any kind of wrap which we make like dumplings. The filling, the pastry sheet is very thin. It is not making traditional samosa. It is not that thin. You don't roll it that much thin, and you can see. And while making the dough, you make it a little firm dough.
Okay.
That is be very
Okay, we're just going to go back to Giangi for about 30 seconds just to see her working her frustrations out with that dough.
No, I'm actually having fun. I'm sitting there going, it's like maybe the kids in me actually came out, but it's all done, all put together, all mixed up. So now what I'm going to do is stick off my sticky gloves, which is a great place things to work with, and start putting it into meatball format. And maybe if I can go quickly now, there is two ways.
Actually, Jenny, I'm going to come back to you. I only came back to you because you look like you were having fun. So I'll come back to you.
I'm done.
To do the meatballs in a minute. We're just going to go to Indrani because she's about to fill up her samosa. Or have you done it already? Oh, no, she's done one. So we're going to hang on for her to do the second one.
So we just make like this.
Okay.
You can put a little bit of water for it to stick.
Okay, so you roll the dough up into a circle, you cut it in half, and then you form a cone with your dough, sealing the edges with some water. Okay?
Then fill it with any filling which you want. Like now I'm putting minced chicken.
Okay, cool.
Then you seal the edges.
All right.
That's
easy enough. And how do you ensure that the dough doesn't come apart when you're frying it later, Indrani?
So whenever we are sealing it, put little water. Like whenever you have, like I have rolled this dough, and you put little water on the over here.
On the edges, yeah, on the edges.
So when you fold it like this, it will seal. It won't come out.
Okay, all right. So be sure to seal your dough. Stick it together with a little bit of water and pinch it tight to seal it. Okay.
Now I'm potato filling. This is potato. And similarly way, don't overfill the samosas.
Okay, great. So you've got, okay, we're going to leave you to fill a few of your samosas. We're going to head on over to Giangi as she makes her meatballs.
Hi there. Okay, so I'm ready for my meatballs. I mix it all up. What I usually do is put them in a little tray. I use parchment paper, which has, you know, wax, so I usually sprinkle it, put it down. Now, I do it two-way. I actually three-way. One, sometimes I put them in the oven. I cook them. I put them in parchment paper like this, cook them at 375 or I think it's 180 on the regular European ovens, and then for 20 minutes. Or I put them inside of my tomato sauce just so I can make a little tomato sauce with meatball pasta, or I could just fry them. So you have three choices how you want to go from there. The simple thing is I do a couple of sizes. I usually take a cookie thing and I just make a size of it, and I roll it. That's it. This is my regular meatball that I usually bake, and you can see it's just very small. I bake or I put on my tomato sauce. Now, sometimes what I do for when my son was little, if I have little kids coming home, I make little ones, and those are fabulous. There's a little one to make on the tomato sauce. In Italy, they do it. In Southern Italy, they do this. Now, if you have little kids at home, this is fabulous because when they're going to see I make big balls, they're going to go crazy. Oh, like, Mom, I don't want to eat. It's like an instantaneous. But when you do the little one, they'll eat it because I think it's fun. So you have your kids eating without having to fight them. So this is what I do sometimes. So I have two different sizes. Also, one more thing. I also do individual meatloaves with this. I make this a little bit bigger, or pretty much the double of this first meatballs, and put it together and put it in the freezer or bake it that night. So there is like three different variations, three different ways to do it. It is the most easiest recipe to prepare. But for the purpose of today, we're going to just make all the big ones, and then from there I can show you how to freeze them. As soon as I'm doing quite a few, I'll put them all in, a few inside of my tomato sauce, so they will start cooking.
Okay, excellent. We'll head on over to Joy now to see how she's doing. How are you doing, Joy?
The eggs in. Doing great. We've got the eggs in, and the potatoes are about to come out, which means they're about to go through their final step. Actually, we're going to leave the potatoes in for a little bit longer. Jack up the heat a little bit more.
Okay.
5 more minutes, I would say. And can I talk about the inspiration for this dish a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay, so one of my best friends, such a wonderful woman, mama, and an accomplished nursing student, dental hygienist, and foodie, she introduced me to breakfast burritos. If you're watching, hi, Justine. And I just wanted to give a shout out to making breakfast burritos in the kitchen with a friend, really cooking anything in the kitchen with a friend. It's just such a wonderful feeling. And thanks so much for developing this recipe with me.
Excellent. Cool. So yeah. You've got your vegetables on the stove. Correct.
And is it possible to see from here?
And not quite the filling itself, but that's all right. So what you're frying, you've got zucchinis in there, haven't you? Grated zucchinis?
So this mixture is onions, grated zucchinis, a bit of baby spinach, and eggs. And that's it, because we're going to get a ton of flavor when I put the potatoes together with the black beans and the salsa.
Okay, cool. Yes, that sounds amazingly flavorsome. Okay, tell you what, while you're getting that filling going, we're going to head on over to Indrani. And but first of all, let me just tell you guys that the links for all these recipes, step by step, will be found or are already found in the information part of the show, wherever, whatever platform you're watching it on, whether it's YouTube, in the Facebook group, or my Facebook page. You will find it on the post itself. On YouTube, I'll post all the links when we're off air later. So don't you worry if you've not been following it. You'll find the recipes on those links. So let's go over to Indrani. How are you doing, Indrani? Oops, wait a minute. Right, please. Sorry, I've muted her. Right, Indrani, you've got, you were on mute. So you filled all your samosas. You're going to fry them now?
You just heat it slow. It will be little bit hot, that's it. And it will be slow cooked, slowly fried. That is how the samosa dough outer part will be crispy. Otherwise, it will puff up like puris.
Okay. Okay. So you fry the samosas on low heat.
Yeah, very low means the oil in which you are putting, adding the samosa should not be very much hot. It will be like just medium hot. It will not be like how we fry the spring rolls.
Okay.
It won't be like So it will be a little medium hot, and then you add the samosas. And it will be, it will take some time, but it will fry in slow flame. Slowly, that outer pastry will get cooked, and that's how it is very crispy.
Okay. And do you ever bake your samosas?
Yes, that is also possible. You can bake it for around, 200 degrees for 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes you bake.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. We'll leave you to fry that while we go back to Giangi. But I have to say something before we go back to Giangi. Fried food always tastes better. So there we go. Let's go back to Giangi.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't disappear. Just my hand. I'm all finished putting my little meatballs together. I had 19. So what? Oops, sorry. I'm just trying to show and everything flies. There you go. So I'm going to be putting some into my tomato sauce, which is just perfectly cooked. And what I'm going to do, just to show you the consistency, I'm going to bring it up closer if you guys don't mind. So you get to see. Very simple tomato sauce. Just nothing to it. Now, this is my way of doing it. I don't like too much stuff in it. But please do as you like at home, okay? Don't have to follow my recipe to the T. So what I'll do, I just put them in, just like this. And by the way, my son was extremely excited when I told him I was going to do today because like, yes, Mom, we're going to have dinner. That's it. And I'm going to freeze the rest of it. So that's all done. 2, 4, 6. That's it. I'm on my dinner. It's halfway done. I just need to now wait for 20 minutes until they're cooked, and I can start showing you how to freeze those, or I can wait, whatever you want to do.
No, let's show us how you're going to freeze those, because I think Joy and Indrani are still going on. Joy will come back to you when you're ready to roll, literally. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Well, then how I do, I always use parchment paper. Now, some of us have a very old refrigerators, and what happens is we have the crystallizations done into it and freeze burns. And of course, we don't like it. And we throw away our food. So to eliminate the freezer burn, mainly when you have an old refrigerator, there is a trick. Now, the reason why you get that condensation, that freezer burn, is because your refrigerator has to be at a certain temperature, and you hear the fan going, and then of course it goes, and then you are. So as soon as the fan is stopped, the coldness starts to come down. That's when you have the condensation. That when you start having those little crystals forming on top of your food. Then it reach a certain low temperature where the refrigerator kicks back up and goes back up, which means your food now has water on it. And because the refrigerator goes back up to the heat, it freezes up. And that's why you have freezer burn. So Using parchment paper is the best thing because parchment paper actually absorbs all the water. It doesn't freeze it in the refrigerator, but absorbs the water. So by putting it into little packets, like I do, it eliminates it. So my advice, and when I give classes, this is how I do. You just put them in, just kind of put 2 or 3 on a row. Have them touch or don't touch. I prefer them not to touch, and I hope you could see it. And then I take the pack paper and I roll it over, and I put another row of 3. So each individually does not touch, but is actually all separated. And then ever so gently, I turn it over, push it, and make a little packet. Okay. Then I take my aluminum foil, put them in the aluminum foil, and create as well another little packet very easily. Wrap it all around. And because it's me, I usually put it inside of a Ziploc bag with the date and what it is and the quantity. Now I make different quantity depending for the night. So this is 6 right now, is perfect for 2 of us or 3 of us, depending. Sometimes I make more, sometimes I make less. It's fabulous in the night and you're very tired and you just want, you don't have anything to do. You pull them out, let them defrost into the little packet, or you can open it, whatever you prefer. And then you can just leave it out in 15 minutes, they're ready to go. They're ready to go in the freezer. They're ready to go into a tomato sauce. They're ready just to be fried as you wish. So that's how I do it. That's how I save them. And it's great for working parents because you just have a easy meal done for you and you don't have to worry about anything on that. So That's how I do it.
Great. Thanks, Giangi. That was very fantastic advice there on how to freeze your meatballs or any other food to avoid freezer burn. So now we're going to head on over to, let me see. Let's go see what Indrani is doing. Hey, Indrani, how's the frying going?
Yeah, so you can see this. Now it will take some more time. Samosa frying takes a little bit of time. Okay, so
all right, we'll let you get on with your frying. Yep.
You can see here the outer cover is it should be uniform. It's not like puffed up or a little bit of bubbles there. It should be uniform. So this happens only on when the oil is very slow. It is cooking on slow heat.
So we're going to leave you to fry until it's all ready, and we'll head on over to Joy to see how she's doing. But before that, Joy, I'm just going to bring up a comment. We've got lots of people watching, by the way. I need your comments have gone up. So Leroy, Sally, oh, I forgot it now. Sorry, I'm getting old. Right, so let's look at this comment here from Sally. I usually pre-cook the meat, she says, or the meatballs, and freeze them before that and freeze it. Then she mixes it. But she likes your idea too, Giangi. Right then. So, Joy, tell us what you're doing.
So here's what we're doing now is we're finishing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. What we're doing now is we're finishing the potatoes. So they're going to simmer for 5 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to get our eggs scooped into a bowl. And then we're going to be ready to start assembling the burritos. What's cool about this is, even though it has a lot of pieces, everything comes together. And then it's only 3 things to put in there to assemble. It's shredded cheese and egg mixture and the potato mixture.
Okay, so those are your zucchini and onion that you were frying earlier, and you've got your potatoes on there. For those of y'all who've just joined us, Joy is making breakfast burritos that she's going to show you she's showing you how to make them and how to freeze them too. I'll just bring up a comment from Namal in Sri Lanka who says all the dishes, nice dishes which folks can have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Perfect, really. And that's true. So there we have it. And so Joyce breakfast burritos. She's using shop-bought tortilla wraps. And then she's made potatoes. For her filling, she's got potatoes, she's got zucchini and onions, and she's got eggs. Those are the three parts.
I want to show you guys because it's a very soft egg custard for the burritos. It's supposed to be soft so that when you take them out of the freezer and you microwave them, they don't dry out. So you really want to cook them until they're just done. And what's nice about the grated zucchini is that it lends some moisture to the mixture, so it survives the microwave a little bit better.
Yeah,
More like a steamed egg custard.
That makes perfect sense. Great.
And then,
so, have you got a few minutes to go yet before you start wrapping them up, or are you done? You're done.
Almost done. Yeah, just about done.
Okay, so you've got potatoes, black beans, and salsa. Did you say?
Correct. Yeah. One of the very first things I ever made when I was working in food service at 19 was I was taught how to roll a burrito. So let's hope that those skills I learned at Summit Cafe. Hi, Ralph in Chatham. You know who you are. Let's see if those have translated. It's been a few years since I've tried to roll a burrito.
Right then. No pressure.
Right. So, you want some of the potato and bean mixture. It's really flavorful. Right down the center is the best. And you want a little bit of the egg mixture as well. Try to get a piece of or two of spinach in every burrito if you can, because you don't need a lot of spinach, but that spinach is a nice little welcome relief from the fun richness of the cheese and the salsa and the beans and all that. So you can use more or you can use less. It's up to you.
So you fold over the sides, right?
You fold over the sides. And next, those are actually going to be the bottom of the burrito. So you're going to fold. Let's see. I don't know if you can see this from here, but you fold in the sides. Fold in the sides like this.
Yep.
And then you're going to roll the burrito toward you. And if I had two hands, it would look a lot better. But that's the essential idea.
Do that, and you can show off a close-up of the rolled up burritos. So,
certainly, that's a great idea.
Just basically, yeah. So the camera's on me right now. So guys, round tortilla, fold this way, fold that way, and just roll it up. That's what Joy's showing you guys. So back, Joy. There we are.
Here you are.
Perfect. And then the folded bits on the bottom.
Correct. Yeah, so you can kind of see where your fold went. And then this is great because it's already pre-portioned sheets. You can just roll that right up and it's ready to freeze.
Okay, so you cool the filling to room temperature, presumably, if you're going to freeze it, yeah? So you just roll it up and freeze it. And up to how long?
You can freeze these up to 3 months. If you're going to freeze them long term, I highly suggest putting the wrapped burritos into, actually I suggest it anyway, put it into a Ziploc, just to keep the freezer spells out.
Okay, cool. And then how do you reheat them?
That's an excellent question. So these are really easy and really quick in the microwave. It's wrapped in paper towel on a microwave safe plate, 1 minute, and then you flip it, and it can be a minute to 90 seconds on the other side. You just kind of feel it out depending on how big you made it.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to let you roll out a few more if you fancy, because you know you need the practice. It's been a while, you said. So we're gonna just head on over to Indrani, who was slow frying her samosas. Oh yeah, she's all done.
So yes, the samosas are all done. Now how to freeze it? So before frying, just make this shapes and you can freeze it up to 2 weeks. You can freeze it in put it in any container and just put it in the freezer. Add it in the freezer, no problem.
Okay, so you pre-cook before you fry them. Freeze them before you fry them.
Yes, but before frying, you just like you make the filling before and you make the dough before, stuff them, and then freeze it. Just before the guests arrive, you can just take it out from your freezer and you can just deep fry them.
Deep fry them from frozen?
Just keep it for some time, yeah, like outside. There's no need like if you have to thaw it or for a long time or nothing. You can directly deep fry.
Okay, just say roughly about 30 minutes, 60 minutes, leave them at room temperature, and then you can just deep fry them. Deep fry.
And then deep fry it.
Oh, say that again.
2 to 3 minutes you keep it outside and then deep fry it. This is like in slow heat, it will get deep fried, so there's no issue.
Oh, okay. There you have it, folks. Samosas. Form the shapes, fill the samosas, place them in the freezer. Then you just don't need to thaw them. Just take them out 2 to 3 minutes, and you can deep fry them because it's a low and slow frying.
Yes.
Excellent. And what have you got there in Indrani? You've got all the fillings there.
Yes, this is minced chicken. This is minced chicken filling. Then we have got this is corn. I think.
Okay.
This mushroom and corn.
Ooh.
And there is a potato. I cannot find the potato now.
Excellent. Right. So is that going to be your dinner?
You can see how crispy they are. You know, they are very crispy.
They look crispy. They look crispy from here. That's really, really good. That's great. Showing us that samosas are not actually rocket science. Pretty easy to make if you put your mind to it. And homemade is always so much easier, so much better rather than shop bought. So we're going to head on over to Joy and see if she's got any more burritos rolled up. Or have you been just
not quite,
Joy, Sunday morning while we were watching Indrani?
Yes. Well, not quite any more burritos rolled up, but yes, actively trying to cool down the filling. And you can have a better look at how deliciously flavorful those potatoes are. Yeah. So those are really like the backbone of this whole recipe. Without those, I don't think it'd be the same.
Okay, so the main part, the flavor comes from those potatoes and black beans and salsa. And then you've got the egg and zucchini and onions. And then you've got a little bit of, what am I missing? Am I missing anything?
A little bit of zucchini and spinach. So a bit of vegetables, yeah.
A bit of vegetables, yeah.
And I want to point out that these are vegetarian.
Yes, yes, they are, aren't they? What about cheese? Are you adding any cheese to that?
Oh, yes. I think I forgot cheese in the other one, but yes. I have this lovely blend. It's Jack and cheddar cheese, medium cheddar cheese, and queso quesadilla as well, which we love queso quesadilla in our quesadillas, unsurprisingly. So you're really just going to put a little bit of cheese. The cheese is just the flavoring. It's got so much flavor. Sorry about that, using the sink and walking away from the camera. There we go. It's got so much flavor with the beans and potatoes filling. So it's really not necessary to use too much cheese. These are really great because they're kind of a pre-portioned, if you're on a diet, they're a pre-portioned meal. So you can calculate your calories pretty easily. And they're not really that rich. So there's our second burrito.
Great. And then from frozen, they just go into the microwave, don't they?
Yes, they do. That's one of the most wonderful things about them. They go straight into the microwave.
Okay, excellent. All righty. So there you go. We've had 3 recipes. We've had samosas from Indrani. We've had meatballs from Giangi, and we've had breakfast burritos from Joy. More importantly, they are freezable recipes. So always very handy for busy moms, busy parents, busy anybody, or lazy anybody like me. So just make them, freeze them, and they are so easy to cook, to preheat after they've been frozen. And Giangi shared with us her method of freezing meatballs to prevent freezer burn. All the recipes, all the links will be found in the information part of whatever platform of the video, of whatever platform you're watching. So if you're on YouTube, I'll add the links to the recipes after this show. If you're on Facebook, they should already be there. So there you have it. Let's just go say bye and to the ladies and get them to round up the recipes for us. So we're going to start with poor Giangi, who's been standing in and waiting for the rest of us to stop talking. So there we are.
Well, hi. Well, by cooking my the tomato sauce, starting it 2 minutes beforehand, and by putting the lid over when you put the tomatoes, when you put your meatballs, it is done, 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 done. So I am going to bring it over here. That's the beauty of having this kind of table. And as you can see, now you can do two ways. You can enjoy it right now onto a beautiful plate with lots of pasta if you want to, or just by itself with wonderful bread, Tuscan bread. There you go. They are done, cooked to perfection. And then you can put some Parmesan cheese on top of it. Or I have here a Pyrex, which is a glass Pyrex container with a lid, of course. And this, what I'm going to do, you guys, I am going to put them and freeze them. So if you want to already make the tomato sauce, as I was speaking to us here earlier, you just take them, put this in here, and wait until it is all cool off to freeze them up, and then that's it. You're all done. You have a dinner on the run at 80 times of the week. The meatballs are done, and that's it. That's easy. Now, don't put the cheese on top of it. You put the cheese over it. I don't have a microwave. I'm sorry. So, Joy, I have a question for you. How do you defrost your burritos? For me, for this, I leave it out room temperature until it's defrosted, or I put it in the pan very low warmth each with a little bit of water so it doesn't scorch, and that's it. Your dinner is done. By the time your pasta is boiling, you can put the potatoes together. It's all done.
So okay. Wait,
Yeah.
back to Giangi. So okay, so Giangi doesn't have a microwave oven. I knew such people existed, but until now I've never met one.
Well, you want to know something funny? I had a whole stove 15 years ago, right? Oh, maybe not less than 15, whatever it was. And I had a microwave, which I only use for the timer because I don't like microwave. I don't use microwave. I am poorly against it. I'm not going to go for it, but just don't happen. So I took the microwave off, and you should have seen my son and my husband at the time. I thought they were both having a heart attack. So I gave him $100 to go buy a microwave. They never did. We don't use microwave because by the time, and actually I have one which is hiding. We never look it up and it's actually broken. So I do everything here, and it's much easier for me to cook on my stove, to put it in the oven. That's it. I don't use it, and everybody is shocked. It's like, I'm like, well, there is life without a microwave, and I am one of those people. So, but now when Joy was talking, I was like, ooh, I don't have a microwave, because Joy and I were having a little private conversation yesterday, and I'm excited when she's doing the burrito because I literally go 5 miles out of my way to get breakfast burritos, okay, to this wonderful place there in town. So when she's saying I'm making it, I was like, yes. And then she said microwave, like, So how do I defrost them, Joy, out without a microwave? Do you have a suggestion for me?
2 recommendations. If you are really in a hurry and you don't care if your eggs are a little dried out, 350, 5 minutes, especially useful if you have a stovetop toaster oven, or 300 for 10 minutes if you have a little more time and you want to make sure that egg custard stays nice and moist.
Straight from frozen?
Straight from frozen, you just pop it in the oven, 10 minutes. If you're going to do 10 minutes, maybe you want to turn it over after 5 if you have time.
Great. Cool. Thank you, Joyce, so very much.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. So let's head on over to Indrani, who's going to recap, Indrani, very quickly the recipe that you did for us.
Okay, so I did a samosa, which is a triangular shaped pastry dough filled with any kind of fillings. Traditionally, we have potato fillings, but we also have minced mutton, minced chicken, all kind of fillings available, like traditionally done in many regional homes. Different types of communities do that. So we have Bohra Muslim community who is doing minced mutton filling is there. Apart from that, I tried nowadays children love corn and cheese, and so corn, mushroom, and cheese fillings you can do. The dough has to be made with like 2.5 cups of refined flour and 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. and you knead it firm, and then you make a circular, roll it circular into a disc and make it cut it into semicircle, make a cone, fill it, and apply butter on the edges and seal it, and then fry it. The oil should be only medium heat. It should not be high heat, and it should be fried slowly. It will take 15-20 minutes to fry.
Okay, excellent. And in the oven, 200 degrees Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit for
20 to 25 minutes.
20 to 25 minutes. Okay, excellent. Recipe for the samosa will be found in with all the live shows. At the end of the live shows, all the information will be added. And head on over to the ladies' websites. Once again, the websites, the links of the recipes will be with the various shows, whether you're watching on Facebook or you're watching on YouTube. So there you have it, folks. We did 3 different recipes: samosas from India, breakfast burritos from Joy, who lives in the Santa Cruz Mountains, who's just got back to her kitchen after the fires. And then we had meatballs from Giangi. But Giangi's most important part of Giangi's segment was showing us how to freeze your meatballs. Do I dare say it? How to freeze your balls without freezing. So there you go. Our next show in 2 or 3 weeks' time, because we're lazy like that, will be all about pumpkin. So in the meantime, folks, have a good Sunday, have a good week, depending on which part of the world you're in. A very huge goodbye from us. Say bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.